Imagine you had the ability to grow a money tree. I recall when I was a kid, I asked my mom for a toy that I really wanted. And her response to me was, money does not grow on trees. As I got older, it stuck with me. My curiosity always made me wonder, does money really grow on trees? I read this book the other day, Millionaire Fastlane by M.J. DeMarco, and he talks about 3 types of people on this earth: the sidewalker, the slow laner, and the fast laner. The sidewalker is the person who has no ambition, no true goals, and just exists every day, waiting for the night to come, so they can do it all over. Have you ever asked someone, "Hey, how are you today?" And you hear this response, "Same crap, different toilet." Does that make you cringe? And if you're that person who makes those statements, I suggest you remove those words from your vocabulary immediately. Imagine eating the same thing every single day, never changing your food, the way it's made, or the way it tastes. I'm a big animal lover, and I notice habits of my dog. She randomly starts to gag at times, and I wonder to myself, is it because she's eating the exact same type of dog food every day? If animals with their lack of complication compared to us need variety in their life, how come you have the same crap every day? Being a sidewalker means you watch life pass you by. You watch everyone around you become better, grow, and improve their lives, while you stay in the same position, making no plans to change. Can a baby stay a baby forever without dying? The essence of life is growth, and without growth, death slowly sets in. Now, growth has to be planned. Growth has to be scaled. If not, you go into the life of a slow laner. The slow laner. This is someone who needs to grow very slowly. Some slow laners become millionaires eventually, but it takes them a while. At least they're not stagnant like the sidewalkers. There's a possibility of a light at the end of the tunnel. Do we see that 60-year-old with the muscle shirt and a sports car? How do we feel when we see someone who's old enough to be our grandfather, hammered, drunk in a nightclub, trying to convince girls young enough to be their grandkids to go home and spend the night with them? How does it feel when you know the best part of your life is in your golden years, when most of your money is really allocated to preserving your life? I knew a person who once told me that they wanted to do their very best to work very hard when they were young so they can have enough money to pay doctors to preserve their health when they got old. At a point in my life, I actually agreed with this. Then I got to thinking, why should I live a life that is only focused on preservation? Why should I not experience health, happiness, and wealth while I'm still able to enjoy it? I don't mean needing aid to enjoy my life like drugs, alcohol, or even the use of a walker. I mean independent in my actions, my movement, and my decision making. According to M.J. DeMarco, the slow laner works for 5 days and takes 2 days off. What a horrible deal. Now there's a push to make it a 4-day work week with 3 days off. No difference for me. The slow laner takes the approach of putting 6% of their salary into a 401k account. They're excited for the company to match, but they forget about inflation. The slow laner believes if they invest in enough stocks and maybe crypto, when they hear everyone's making a big profit, then one day they'll also become rich. The slow laner doesn't consider that time might mean that they don't get to enjoy any of these well-laid plans. Do you know anyone who has passed away before the age of 60? The retirement age now is to withdraw money from your IRA or 401k without any penalties or tax implications is now at 72 and a half years old. Let that sink in. 72 and a half years old? Who came up with that number? How many people do we know that died before their 60th birthday? Sounds to me that you have better odds of playing the slot machine in Vegas than actually enjoying your wealth without prejudice by taking the slow laner's approach. The life of a slow laner to me sounds like a slow, painful, and methodical death. So with all this knowledge, then why not take a peek at the fast lane? Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban, and a host of other billionaires all did something that a lot of us might envy or wish that we could do. What's crazy about this is we can do the exact same thing. The idea behind money is it involves circulation. Without circulation of money, money also dies. Money is energy, and energy unused is energy wasted. Imagine a person says they will store all their energy from Monday through Friday and then use it all on Saturday. Don't we call that person crazy? Possibly send that person to a psychiatric hospital? Energy must be used or it dies. The same way anything in life must be put to use or it loses its usefulness. The life of a fast lane involves understanding one very basic law. Use what you have or watch it die. The fast lane understands there are three factors in life that they have: desire, action, and time. The desire to be wealthy, rich, or grow is innate in all of us. Most people will stifle that desire by taking the path of least resistance. They know they want to be wealthy, healthy, and successful, yet they are so intelligent that they calculate all the steps involved in achieving that desire, and they decide on the easiest path to take. I've seen people who started their own business only to quit and go work for someone else's business because they faced adversity. I have been that person, and I promise you, the constant reminder of regret is so painful, it makes getting out of bed so hard. I have seen people calculate their bills and know that they have to make sacrifices, even possibly lose their car, homes, and the luxury life that they once portrayed on social media. And at the end, they decided the payout of being in charge of their lives and being their own boss is not even worth it. I even know people who give away everything they have for something they consider safe. I recall I was once told by an ex that she could not be with me because I didn't have a stable life. I didn't want to be happy working a job for 25 years, and right before I died, getting a gold watch is a thank you gift. To her, I say thank you. I remember being told by those who I thought had my best interest at heart that I was a dreamer, and dreamers usually die in poverty. All these people couldn't possibly saw what I saw. No, all they saw was the path of least resistance, while I saw a path to wealth. Steve Harvey says something so cool, that in order for you to go into the life of your dreams, you have to jump. Now when you jump, chances are your parachutes won't open right away. This is where the greats get separated from all the others. The fast laner. They know that there are only two choices in life: hit the ground running and die, or grow your wings right before the impact. The fast laner spends the time in silence working on their craft, turning out all the noise, reminding themselves that their time is now. The fast laner understands that having desires is not enough, but they must take action, and take action now. The fast laner wakes up every morning and jumps out of bed, ready to show the world what they've become. I used to wake up and lay in bed and scroll through my phone for almost 3 hours, just scrolling, hitting the like button, maybe having a meaningless argument with some keyboard warrior on social media. I lived my life on the sidewalk, and then one day, I was placed in a situation where I had to make a decision. The funny thing about life is when you're put in a position to make a decision, you rarely see it coming. There isn't a sign that says fork in the road ahead, but we all get to that point in our lives. That's what we do when we get to that point, is to determine that the life that we live now, is it worth it for us? I've gone to that point many times before. I will not say I always took the right road, but I was fortunate that the element of time still exists for me. From my arrival to the boarding house, where I spent 6 years being tortured, to my arrival in the United States, I even recall the experience of having to leave a relationship which I shared a child with the woman, and then having to experience a divorce. Each time I was put in a position where I had to make a decision, I had to pick one direction and go with it. To become a fast laner, you have to pick your direction, and it's usually not the popular decision. Most times that decision is filled with more uncertainty, pain, and everyone around will call you crazy. But remember, we have the basic fundamentals. We're all given the same exact seeds. To build our money tree, we have to plant the right seeds. There is a popular biblical story about 3 servants whose master gave them talents as he was going on a trip. To the first he gave 5 talents, the second he gave 3 talents, and the third he gave 1 talent. When he returned, he asked the first servant, "What did you do with your talents while I was gone?" The first servant responded, "I took the 5 talents you gave me, multiplied it, and now I have 10 talents." The master was very impressed. He asked the second servant, to which the second servant replied, "I took the talents you gave me, multiplied it, and now I have 6 talents." The master again was very impressed. So with anticipation, he asked the third servant, to which the third servant replied, "I took the talent you gave me, buried it in the ground, and when I heard you were coming back from your trip, I took it out of the ground, cleaned it up really well, and here it is." To which the master angrily replied, "Take that away from him and give it to the man with 10 talents. The Sidewalker and slow laners says that's not fair. They clamor online with their petition and their protest for wage equality and bridging the wealth gap. Because the easy approach is to protest and cry out to everyone willing to listen. But they forget that we're all given seeds at birth. We have full control on if we want those seeds to reap a harvest by how we plant those seeds. When a person gets into the right business that they've dreamed of starting all along, they stick through the trial of running that business. Eventually they get successful. The world doesn't give them a round of applause. No. Instead, the world says we need to bridge the gap between that person who is willing to stake their existence for the accomplishment of their goal with the person who wakes up every day and spends 3 hours scrolling through their social media feed. The verdict is out, they scream. Wage inequality is not fair, they say. But what is really not fair is the one that doesn't have to work hard or plant their money tree, but yet gets to harvest the money tree out of those who have worked day and night to cultivate their money tree. Don't be that sidewalker or slow laner. Don't take the easy road or the path of least resistance with your life. You only have one life to live. Therefore, it's crucial you start now and plant the seeds that will grow your money tree. The world doesn't owe you a thing, but you owe yourself every opportunity to be rich. It's your right to be rich. Do you know there are currently more than 21 million millionaires today? 3 years ago, we had 5 million millionaires. Yet with how much money that is currently circulating this world, we still have the worst of times for some people. This is not you. You're listening to this message. So go out there, plant your money tree, harvest your fruit, and when you're asked, how did you do it? Tell the world, did you know money grows in trees? Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by June of 2022. Peace.